You know, it's Halloween season and it's a time of frights and it's a time of having nightmares and being scared. I think this is a good time to at least talk about some of the times when I was younger and I was the most vulnerable, because I'm not gonna lie, I at one point, yes, me, BB was a sensitive child. I had moments where I was just feeling sad, feeling scared way too easily for no reason. I would get in trouble. I remember back in school they would tell you to move your cars, go, you're in yellow now instead of green, which was a good one, and I would start feeling sad. And I think one time I went to orange because I was in a group of people that were laughing and stuff, and I think I cried. Heck, I think honestly I probably did cry. But enough of trauma from school. I guess it's time to talk about trauma from other medias, and today I got 6 impressive pieces of media that got me to be scared for once. Whether it was just me jumping out of fright or me being traumatized, it's a toss-up honestly. So please enjoy the video today as we talk on my childhood traumas and nightmares. My Babysitter is a Vampire is one of my favorite series of all time. I remember getting out of school and I would try to watch this series whenever it came out for any new episodes and any updates on the show. This show had a TV special that aired around 2009-2010, and eventually the next 2 years it got a season 1 and season 2 until it did not get picked up for season 3, which honestly might be the scariest thing for me right here. But while this show does cover, supernatural elements like vampires, werewolves, the occult, one scene did give me a little fright, not just to me but my sisters as well, and this is Ethan's visions allowing him to see dead people. Now in the last episode of My Babysitter's a Vampire, it shows our main hero Ethan finally being confronted by the antagonist, the vice principal, and there he gets basically Uno reversed, and now he only sees dead people. He sees his love interest Sarah dead, and over here we can see his best friend Benny, who was taken over by the vice principal, and as we can see,
Pretty sure I'm fine.
yeah, sorry about that, I just had to bring that in. Don't worry, that's the only jump scare that I'll do, honestly, in this channel. But as you can see, this little image of Benny being a dead person scared the hell out of me, at least for a jump scare, but it scared my siblings even more, yes. This is why I included this on this list, because it scared my siblings. While it didn't make me jump, seeing them being scared is honestly what made the scene better in my opinion. And I also wanted to introduce this show because I might talk about it in a later day, but yeah, a little creepy for a kids TV show, and even the way they're being dressed, the imagery of them being dead, it's very, very scary. So right here I have some creepy images that to me I find very creepy, and the first one I have is Tomino's Hell. Now what is it? It is a Japanese poem that is rumored to be cursed. It was written by Saijo Yaso in 1919 and appears in the poetry collection Sakin, or Gold Dust Tea. The curse associated with Tomino's Hell suggests that anyone who reads the poem aloud will suffer misfortune or even death. Although there is no factual basis to these claims, stories have circulated online for years, mostly on Japanese forums, where people have claimed to experience bad luck, illness, or even tragedy after reading this. Now, while the story and the poem by itself is very scary, the main thing that scared me was this image that is being connected with it. Yeah, this thing freaked me out the first time I saw this. I think it was in a Blame It on Jorge video, maybe because he did one where he was talking about like Japanese rituals and Japanese like curses and stuff like that. And so once I saw this, I just freaked it out, and especially because I saw this in my high school like advisory class, and I immediately clicked off. I mean, especially because I had a couple of people that I knew, and showing them this image isn't a smart thing. Next thing that I want to talk about is another creepypasta that I sort of mentioned when I was doing my first creepypasta tier list video, and it was this creepypasta, Annora Petrova. This is a creepypasta of a figure skater named Annora Petrova that sends a desperate email to her estranged friend Bree, recounting a series of eerie events. Annora explains that years ago, before a big competition, she found a mysterious Wikipedia page about herself, predicting that she was going to win. She began relying on the page for reassurance before competitions, but at one event she tried editing the Wikipedia to claim victory, and the page responded with a chilling, angry message. Shortly after, Bree was injured and Nora was blamed. Her life quickly spiraled as the page continued to update with horrible predictions and insults, even foreshadowing her parents' death. Now in preg for an audition, Annora finds the page ominously predicting her own death on that very night. Desperate and alone, she keeps on refreshing the page, hopefully trying to find out that maybe maybe something will change. And yeah, the story of Annora Petrova is pretty scary itself. It's actually a pretty good creepypasta, honestly. I would put it in the A tier. It's honestly not one of the most insulting ones out there, and it's pretty good. But the image of Annora Petrova, it's like this edited picture. I don't know where it's from. If I do, I'll show you right now. But man, this edited picture freaked me out. I remember in that video, I was just like looking at that image because it was so creepy as hell. And probably the most infamous one of the group, Jeff the Killer. Now, you all know how I feel about Jeff the Killer. It's stated, I put it in the F tier list. The creepypasta is trash, but one thing that it does have that's pretty good is the whole mystery surrounding the image of Jeff the Killer. Now, multiple channels have done either videos attempting to find out where it is from, or just getting all the information on what's happening with the Jeff the Killer image. Then something happened when some ordinary gamers, Mudahar, said that he was going to put a $10,000 bounty to find out who can come up with the original image of Jeff the Killer. Now, there is a Jeff the Killer image Reddit that I mentioned when I was discussing, the origin of Jeff the Killer and where did this come from. And we have some updates, and I'll talk about these updates honestly right now because everything has changed. Now, there are some like very scary things over here. Right now, I'm just staring at them, and yeah. This is 3 in the morning, and probably gonna have horrible nightmares. But right now, we got 3 possible leads on the Jeff the Killer image. Now, there's a lot of infamous images resulting on trying to find out where Jeff the Killer came from. Of course, the most popular one is the Katie Robinson theory, where this person, Katie Robinson, killed herself because she was made fun of by some people on 4chan, but eventually that was debunked, and eventually it was kind of funny that Katie Robinson was a part of some sort of like internet beef with some priest. It was very interesting. Toddlers, multiple AI images were being used. But right now, these 3 leads are from 3 people in Japan. A lot of these people in Japan are famous, called net idols. Now, net idols are kind of like pseudo internet celebrities, basically only in Japan. And you know how idols in Japan are just super famous. It's essentially kind of like, pseudo internet celebrities. And today we have these 3. We have the first lead being Sonoko, then we have Koge, and then we have Mariko. And a lot of people believe that they are connected to the Jeff the Killer image. And looking at these 3 current leads we have, the Mariko one seems to be the one that I might put my money on. Just looking at the image and looking at the edited pictures that some of the people from Reddit, try to use, it really looks very similar, unlike the other ones that kind of try to be a little different. But honestly, right now, I'm just tired of seeing this image and a lot of these creepy faces, because even these edited pictures are very unnerving to me. And honestly, it might be another nightmare for me today. Might have to update this list. But yeah, Jeff the Killer, Tomino's Hell, Annora Petrova, and a lot of other images. And this portion of the video is to inform you guys that the Jeff the Killer image is still out there. We don't know if anyone has a copy of the initial image, the unedited image, and judging from how far we've gone, we might never will. I don't really talk about my past that often in this channel, so why not give you guys a little story. So when I was a kid, no older than like 7-8 years old, I always, I would hang out with my cousins. They were much older. They were already like in high school. And so in order to try to fit in, I would try to watch and, hang out with them when they were clearly watching either scary movies or watching stuff that I just honestly didn't care about. And one day they made me want to play a game in their computer. Now, usually it was cool because we would play, shooting games, racing games, even some sort of like modded type of games that were out there. But one game that they told me to play kind of ruined my day, and this was the Scary Maze game. Now, if you don't know what the Scary Maze game is, it was a popular internet game that circulated around 2004. It was designed to basically catch the players off guard, and the objective of the game was to guide a dot through a narrow maze path, requiring us to focus and precisely get it in the game. Midway through the game, you get a screamer with a loud scream and a large flashing image of the girl from the Exorcist movie. And the scream was loud as hell, and I got burned very badly after this. I told you guys I was a sensitive kid. I definitely cried after this one. And all I can remember is my dad yelling at my cousins, telling them, I understand to you this is funny as hell, but now I'm gonna have to deal with this kid crying. And since he didn't do anything wrong with this, what am I gonna do? Yeah, I can say the whole, don't be a pussy type of beat, but that's not gonna help the situation. So yeah, another horrible thing that's happened to me in my past. And don't worry, there's another little story I have for you guys later on. But next up on this list is one that I think everybody can agree that at least we have. And that's Courage the Cowardly Dog. It's one of my favorite shows that I used to watch. And even though I'm not truly into horror media, I still like watching watching it and consuming it. Clearly, I talk about creepypasta and very scary issues in the internet and in real life, and I talk about lost media, and I guess for some reason that's now considered creepy. But Courage the Cowardly Dog really has some very creepy things, from King Ramsay to the Violin Girl, You're Not Perfect, the fucking Cat's Hotel. This whole collection of Courage the Cowardly Dogs was very, very focused on horror, but it did it in a way where it's still not, you know, it's not too scary, honestly. There was one episode that kind of freaked me out. It was the one episode with the white mask. That one freaked the hell out of me, and what even shocked me even more is it had a pretty deep story of, you know, abuse, lesbianism, honestly, a lot of adult type of themes, and I wasn't too old enough to understand majority of it, you know, Kitty and Bunny loving each other being an allegory for lesbianism, the dog mistreating them being a form of, you know, abuse, you know, even the Kitty was abusing Courage, being mean to them, and then that's when we find out that it was because she had trauma of Bunny's boyfriend, you know. Right now going back, it's a really good episode, very ahead of its time, honestly, but when I was watching it, I was so young, I had no idea what it means. And as for Courage the Cowardly Dog, it is probably one of the best horror cartoons out there. Definitely must watch if you haven't watched it. Depending how you are as a kid, might be a yes or no, but I think we can all agree that Courage the Cowardly Dog, one of the best shows out there. Now, here is something that I probably shouldn't talk about because I shouldn't be watching it, but these are live leak Facebook bad contents that I found when I was younger. 4 years ago, or actually, damn yeah, 4 or 5 years ago when I was in high school, I saw this video of a cartel beheading that was posted online a long time ago, and it was of these two guys. I think they were rival gangs or something, and out of nowhere, bam, chopped his head off, and immediately my mouth was to the ground. I didn't know what the hell I was watching. And we would see these a lot in Facebook. A lot of people would repost this in Snapchat because it was a crazy thing, you know. It was just so crazy. And then when I finally learned of websites like LiveLeak, bestgore.com, all these type of things, one of the first things that I've seen was the Pac-Man video. Now, if you don't know what the Pac-Man video is, well, let me describe it to you. It is of a woman who's gotten her head cut off horizontally, and basically from what we've seen of her, the wound is open similarly to Pac-Man. Yeah, it's very, very graphic, very horrible. At least good news, they found the perpetrator. It was some lover's quarrel type, and I don't know if, I think they lynched him, I'm not sure, because it was in South Central America, or if they killed him. Honestly, I don't know what it was, but yeah, it was very scary. And I think what was even unsettling, on top of just seeing how she is, I think she was alive and still breathing. So yeah, scary, traumatizing stuff. Now, I've been talking more about trauma and things that I found scary and remembering, but this thing I remember one time was resulting in one of my first nightmares, and it is of this scary movie. Now, I don't know what the name of it is. If you in the comments know what it is, please put it down so I can have closure. But it is a scary movie of a woman who is pregnant with Satan's baby. Now, there are of course multiple movies having that plot, but what makes this unique is that there's like a mosquito that goes into her nose or bites her. I remember the nose, but it turns her evil as well. And I remember this one part of the movie where she has sex with this one guy who I guess gives the seed to get her pregnant, and I think she either kills him or bloodies him, because at the end of having sex she's all covered in blood. Now, I was very young to see this, and even my parents realized that, yeah, we should send them out, so they told me to go to my cousin's room because it was too graphic for me at that time, so they just told me to go play Dragon Ball Z, you know, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, great game. But yeah, this thing always it's in my mind, and I tried to search it up kind of like every day in preparation for this video, but I can't find it. I've been putting, you know, pregnant lady, mosquito in nose, devil baby, and it just gives me other movies that are not that for sure. Maybe I'm, you know, maybe this is fake news, maybe this is some sort of Mandela effect, and for right now, it's still a mystery. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any childhood traumas or anything you guys want to, you know, rant or let out and talk about, put them in the comments, because I might even respond, and it's fun to see what other people have gone through resulting in media. I don't want to know your real life traumas because I'm not that helpful with that, but if you do want to talk about a scary movie or a scary image, picture, video game thing that you've seen, put in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Happy Halloween if it's in Halloween. If not, I don't know. Bye.